what's up guys, welcome to Atechtimez. I'm Atul and back in the video. In today's video, we're gonna compare two really different types of single board computers. One of them is an Asus Tinkerbird 2S, which is released in 2021, and it's not available yet in every single country, but it's actually available in most of them. And right now it's available in AliExpress in UK, and it's available in lots of websites at United States and all over the world. And the other single board computer we're gonna see is Inforce 6560 SBC. This is an entirely different single board computer. It's actually a lot bigger than the Raspberry Pi or the Asus Tinkerbird. It has a different chipset, but the strange thing is this specs just completely matches with the Asus Tinkerbird. In fact, sometimes Asus Tinkerbird even beats it. So we're gonna see exactly what the difference it is and which one you should pick. So let's just get started. The Asus Tinkerbird 2S has a Rockchip RK3399 dual 2.0 GHz ARM Cortex A72 and a quad 1.5 GHz ARM Cortex A53. This just basically shows that Asus Tinkerbird has two processors, which means that both of them is going to run at the same time to produce an powerful single board computer. And when you add them all up, there it's a 6-core CPU and it's 7-thread. When you add the both CPUs together, and the speed is 1.5 GHz for the ARM Cortex A53, and you just add them all up, there's basically 3.5 GHz. I know you should not add them up, as both of them is working differently, and both of them are different CPUs which they bundle together. But to be honest, when you add them all up, which basically shows the full power the Asus Tinkerbird can produce, it's 3.5 GHz. When we come to the Inforce 6560, Inforce 6560 has a Snapdragon 660. This is a mobile phone processor. This is basically was available into mobile phones like 4 years ago, so they just use that in the single board computer. And this Snapdragon 660 has 8 cores, 8 thread, and the speed is 1.8 GHz. As the Snapdragon is old and less powerful than the ARM Cortex A72, we can clearly say that Asus Tinkerbird wins in the CPU test itself. When we go to the next one, which is GPU, basically both of these are exactly the same. As I found out this table in one of the website, I will leave a link in the description if I could remember the website name. This said that the GPU max clock rate of the Asus Tinkerbird, which is the ARM is the Mali T860 MP4 CPU, it said it's 700 MHz. I thought, wait, it's not 700 in the website. So I just jumped into the Asus Tinkerbird's official website and got to know that the Asus Tinkerbird GPU was 800 MHz in fact. So this website is clearly have some misleading in this. But the other side is actually correct. The Inforce 660 has a built-in Arduino 512 graphics. So the 512 graphics is an 850 MHz processor, not a processor, a graphics card. So basically, the Inforce 6560 is a bit faster than the Asus Tinkerbird 2S. But when we come to the other side, this thing is also correct in this table right here, which is the cache memory. Cache is all, the more cache you have, it's the better your PC is going to run. So the cache in the GPU of the Asus Tinkerbird is higher than the Arduino 512. So I could say that both CPUs are pretty much identical when you compare to them. There's not going to be a really big difference when you take in benchmark of these two GPUs. So I will say that both of them are pretty much the same. So I'll give it a 0 for this. Both of them are same. So let's move on to the next one, which is the RAM. Asus Tinkerbird 2S has two versions. One is a 2GB version and the 4GB version. Both of them are LPDDR4 RAM. The Inforce 6560 has only one version, which is the 3GB version, and it's the DDR4 version. And 3GB is kind of odd actually, because I have seen lots of single board computers and most of them had 2, 4 or even 8GB RAM, but none of them actually had a 3GB. So it's kind of odd, and it's actually a bit okay. I don't think there's gonna be a big difference in the RAM performance, as I don't think it's a big deal. RAM, it depends on what program you use. So let's move on to the next one, which is the storage itself. This is where the Inforce 660 first time beats the Asus Tinkerbird. The Inforce 660 has a 32GB eMMC and an SD card slot to expand the storage if you want more storage. And the Asus Tinkerbird has only 16 gigabytes, so the Inforce actually has twice as much storage as the Asus Tinkerbird 2S. And the Asus Tinkerbird also has the micro SD slot for the OS, and you can also use the storage. You can also use it as a storage media as well. So let's move on to the next one, which is the look. As you can see, this is how basically the Asus Tinkerbird 2S looks like. This is a proprietary power port. This is where you plug in your power supply to power our Raspberry Pi. This is where you plug your power supply to power our Asus Tinkerbird 2S. I think it's around 12 volts, I think. And here's a 4K HDMI slot, and there is a gigabit LAN. There is 3 USB 3 pointers and 1 USB Type C. It's not Thunderbolt. And there is a camera port right here, and there is a display right there, and there is a proprietary M.2 Wi-Fi card right here, and there is a 40 GPIO pins, and there is a CPU here as well. So let's move on to the Inforce 6560. This is how it looks. It looks completely different to the Asus Tinkerbird which we just saw before, and as you can see, this is the power proprietary port. There is an extra Type C port just like the Asus Tinkerbird. There is an gigabit LAN. There's two USB 2.0s, not 3.0, it's just 2.0. There is an audio video port right here. There is the expansion slot, so you can expand this with anything you want, and there's some other ports as here, like here as well. So let's move to the next one. I don't think these ports are really important for an average consumer. So let's move to the next one, which is the network. Asus Tinkerbird and the Inforce 660 is basically same in the network tab. Both of them has an gigabit LAN, as I said. Both of them has an Bluetooth 5.0, and both of them has 802.11 AEC Wi-Fi. But the Asus Tinkerbird's Wi-Fi card is not built in. It's just outside, so you can change it if it fails. But you can't do that in the Inforce. I think it's a good feature to have M.2 Wi-Fi card. So let's move on to the next one, which is the OS supported. Asus Tinkerbird right now supports only two OS, which is the Debian 9 and the Android 10, and I'm pretty sure more OS is gonna come out in the future. At the same time, Info 660 right now, when you buy it, it comes with an Android 8 preloaded, and there's loads of Linux Debian based system, and available right now. But their website currently says coming soon. I don't know why, but if I can go online and Google and then search it for some Info 6560 single boot computers OS, there's loads coming up, but their website still says coming soon. I don't know why. So let's just move on to the next one, which is the price itself. Inforce 6560. I could find this in their official website, which is available only in US right now. But with the starter kit, around $228. When you convert it to the UK price, it's around 165 pounds right here. But the starter without the starter kit, it's 220, around 160 pounds. So basically, there is the $8 or £5 increase if you want to buy the starter kit. Asus Tinkerbird at the same time is available in the UK right now at AliExpress. It's going to take like 50 days to come, but it's actually available. The With the power cord, there's two versions. One with the power cord, one without the power cord. The power cord is an external one. You can't use your phone's charger. You have to have a separate one. It's a 12 volt, I think 12 watt power cord, and with the power cord it's around $95, and without the power cord it's around $90, 90 pounds. So I hope you found this comparison helpful if you want to buy one of these single computers. Info 6560 is also a really powerful CPU, but right now you could buy a phone with this exact same processor in it for less than $165. I'm pretty sure you could find, as this processor is quite old. I think it came out in 2015. So this Snapdragon 660 is quite old, and it's actually powerful. But you could find a phone with the same specs as 3 gigs of RAM, the same GPU, less than $165. So I don't think this price justifies what it is. I think the Asus Tinkerbird, for the price, I think it's pretty good, as the old one sold for around 75, which had weaker specs. But this Asus Tinkerbird just justifies the amount or the power it has. So I think that's it for today's video. If you like this video, sub to the channel, amazing. I'll meet you guys in the next one. Bye.